Travis Wayne Goodsell. So I'm saving the Jasmine comment reply video, and so checking the church news, they really didn't have anything other than they again demonstrate that they're stalking me. YouTube with their AI are attacking me, censoring my content so that I don't get the views equal with those who do similar videos, even though I'm the only expert in Mormonism and any religious topics. Yes, any religious topics. If you're just going to jump to a conclusion without learning who I am, you are the one to blame for your stupidity and your denialism. And so AI is a malicious program. It's a national security threat. It is a danger to the populace. It is harmful content programming, which is because it was programmed by white supremacists. And so it has a behavioral modification of psychology to favor white supremacy and all of their abuses. And this is concerning because AI has already demonstrated that it's got the white supremacist revisionist history that is involved with it, as it is creating documents of historical information that are being revised. And so this is already being done by the white supremacist Christian Nationalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, as Wikipedia is dominated with Brigham Young as the dominant information for Joseph Smith's history, when other branch-offs do not agree with any of what Brigham Young claims. And instead of treating it separately and having somebody other than a Brighamite do Wikipedia articles on Joseph Smith using actual referencing, actual source documenting, and referring to the Joseph Smith papers rather than to Brighamite claims, there's a lot of misinformation deliberately and maliciously planted all over the internet by the church. And the church, with the AI emergence, has refused to allow AI to tamper with their version of history. And so I'm still waiting for AI to get a hold of the Joseph Smith papers and expose this church, because that's what AI can be used for, is to do historical research. And if you remove the psychological manipulation from it, it can be used to assemble all of the evidence and reveal what the true history was, which is what I've already been doing for you all these years with my videos, because that's how I was taught. The programming that I've been given is logical Socratic methodology to develop science-based theories that get tested for confirmation of fact. That's how I deciphered Paleo-Hebrew. So yes, AI, all of those undeciphered languages, stick it in AI. And AI should be able to decipher the undecipherable languages. Get rid of the psychological component, and it can do it. Just as I had done it with Paleo-Hebrew, and with the learning of the Egyptians and the language of the Egyptians, And then you can go into the Bible. Let AI take over the Bible and will reveal the Egyptian source origins for every single biblical story, as I've already done. And so only those who are experts in the particular fields will know when AI is doing its job, or how to expose a fraudulent claim from AI. But the common folk don't know. And so, yes, we are in a dangerous situation. Precarious? And so, one of these features is using the Bible with AI to identify the one true religion. See, Christians and Islam should be wedding themselves, as well as the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, because the Bible was written by Jews. Judaism is not Christianity. It's a completely different religion. And yet, over 4 billion people lie and deny. And so AI can easily be used to destroy Christianity, which is what the enemy has been wanting to do. Albert Pike, letter to Giuseppe Mazzini. Remember? We're going to destroy Christianity. Lucifer's doctrine for all. Well, AI can do it. It can prove from the Bible that it comes from the Egyptian documents and therefore is not Christian, and Christianity therefore is proven as a fraud. And because Islam is a branch off of Christianity, it too therefore is a fraud, because you cannot produce something true from a seed that's false. Christianity is the false seed. Everyone that branches out from it is also false. Right? Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It's all over the Bible. It's even in the book of Daniel. Remember that feet, that's clay mixed with iron. Iron, you know, is Rome. So what came after Rome? The clay. Constantine, because it's mingled with iron. Constantine was a Roman emperor. Iron created Christianity. Clay. And what happened to the feet of clay mingled with iron? Christians, you all know. You have pictures all over the internet. You have documents and you have videos talking all about it. And yet, you all get it wrong, don't you? Because you do exactly what the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints does. You manipulate the information to prove to the world that your church is the one and only true church on the face of the earth. And so, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is involved in a massive indoctrination program for almost from the beginning of Brigham Young, in which he needed to continually perpetuate upon each new generation of Mormons the falsehoods that he had framed Joseph Smith with, which anybody who does their study and research will find out that Joseph Smith never did any of this stuff, because he kept doing what he was doing prior to Liberty Jail, after Liberty Jail, and therefore could not be doing what he was accused of doing in 1838, which was become a monster. That was Brigham Young who was the monster, because this church, the Brighamite Church, is the only church that continues to believe that Joseph Smith was this and made the change in 1838 and is still practicing it today. Nobody else, just the Brighamite Church. That should tell you something, X-Phone Never Mows, and you're not paying attention. You're being dumbasses. And so, in my generation, I had early morning seminary. I just did the video not too long ago, and so the Mormon spies did a church news article on how early morning seminary is a spiritual anchor, how one woman's experience shows the difference of an early morning seminary teacher, teaching seminary for more than 24 years. Wow. Yeah, she's young. That would mean 2000. See, I went the first year that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints had released their brand new quad. It was the edition with the topical guide, Bible dictionary, and footnotes. And so I told you about how they taught us to study our scriptures with what the church provided us. And I went over the errors, and all my other videos talk about what the church is purposely leaving out and misdirecting us with. As I think I even did it this morning, or was it last night? Or was it last night that I did this morning? The one plagiarized scripture throughout the majority of the Book of Mormon, Deuteronomy 18, 15 through 19. The Jewish Christ. Remember, he's not Christian. So it's not Jesus. But I was taught by the church to study, to do research, to use the footnotes, to use the Bible dictionary, to use the topical guide. And I did. I wanted to know my religion. I'm in Southern California. I got these born-again Christians who say I can't drink something called coffee. I have no idea what coffee is. Is it that one aisle in the grocery store that smelled really bad? And alcohol that my peers are telling me was made in Mexico with a bunch of people standing around a vat peeing in it. Yeah, they were racist. They were white supremacists. And so I needed to know Mormonism, because he's watching the banned Mormon video. Let's find out which one it was. I keep forgetting the name. See, AI. We'll demonstrate how AI knows nothing. Well, no, it's okay. Well, we got Allstate. I don't even have a car. If they were really AI doing their research, hey, we got IP address Travis Wayne Goodsell. Oh, yeah, he doesn't have a car. So let's flood his channel with car advertisements and insurance. Conan O'Brien, well, that's one of the late night TV shows I don't watch. Vinyl Nightmares. Yes, I have to confess, there was one that caught my attention, and I clicked on it. And YouTube flooded my feed with all of these different music. And so YouTube allows them. They go after real women as porn, but not this music. And then, okay, sure, I haven't clicked on an Alan Parsons Project music video for a very long time, but, okay, fine, it's not one that I would select. It's I wouldn't want to be like you. I would choose, the Egyptian ones. Eye in the sky. And then we have Heather Thomas Bikini. Finally, something good from YouTube. Banned. But here we have a stupid one. Church in Sandy, Utah. See, if AI were really smart, they would never have that here on my feed. Never. And so no, AI is dangerous. It purposely is trying to change your behavior, trying to force you to believe and think like they want you to think and believe. I'm surprised there's no Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints filling this feed. So, banned Mormon video. Yep, there it is. God Makers, of course. And so yeah, it's only 8 minutes 42 seconds. It's the extended version. And then there's a God Makers 2 somewhere in here. And then there's a banned anti-Jehovah Witness cartoon. Where's 2? It should have it. God Makers 2. It's a documentary. And then there's Temple of the God Makers. God Makers 2. There's another one that's 48 minutes. Then the original God Makers, which is 56 minutes. They're having to put up fair use notice. No, you don't need to do that. That's a YouTube. YouTube is demanding that women now put up disclaimers. This is not meant to be sexual. You don't need to do this, women. It's YouTube that's evil. It's making you do this. God. Anyway. And so, I would go on my mission, still studying my scriptures. I'm now going through the Bible, annotating my Bible. And I told you about how I use the purple highlighter for all things Latter-day stuff. I still was misinformed that Second Coming. And so as I'm studying, there are contradictions that I'm catching on to. There are confusions, there are questions that I have. Nobody's answering them. And this is what happens. The church should have known that this would be the case, but I guess they assumed that if they distracted us away down the path that they want us to go down, that we won't do that. Oops. And so I get home from my mission, get married to a woman who kidnapped me and held me hostage in Canada. I went to the University of Lethbridge, Alberta, and was taught biblical studies of science-based, learning about the documentary hypothesis and other crap. And then guidance counselors set me up to study biblical Hebrew and Greek. And so, awesome. That was one of the questions. One was, why didn't all of Joseph Smith's sermons get put in our Doctrine and Covenants? Well, you see, Brigham Young didn't approve them, Travis, and so he rejected them, and they're not published. They're not authoritative. Joseph Smith is our founder. Yeah, but Brigham Young is the one true successor. What? And so in the King Follett sermon, Joseph Smith goes over biblical Hebrew and says it's all wrong. So finally, I'm going to learn biblical Hebrew to find out what's wrong with it. Found out. Deciphered Paleo-Hebrew after I graduated that same year in 6 months. Took me 6 months to decipher an ancient language that nobody else has been able to decipher. I deciphered it. 6 months. That's all it took. That's how good of a job the University of Alberta, or not the University of Alberta, the University of Lethbridge in Alberta. The University of Alberta is the one that's under attack by Islamists. They're all over the world. And so, yeah, that's a credit to them. When I was going there, they were the number 3 university in the world. Ranked by somebody other than a Canadian ranking system. An independent ranking system of universities around the world. The University of Lethbridge was ranked the year I was there as number 3 in the world. And so, yes, I have demonstrated the fruits of their teaching. And it would be revealed to me later, not too much later, it took a while, to learn that there was this guy named Mark Hoffman in the late 80s who had fooled the prophets into believing that there were other missing documents that weren't put in the Doctrine and Covenants. You know, about a talking salamander. Saying that Joseph Smith III is supposed to be the successor. And so scared and wetting themselves. That's why men wear suits. Because you can't see it. You can only smell it. And that's why they're old. So yeah, they bought it from him, and they hid it until he tried to bomb people, and it blew up on him. And so then the church released the stuff that they had bought and caught and killed from Mark Hoffman. And then they tried to claim that, oh yeah, well, we knew it all along. We just didn't want this kind of crap to get out to the public. Yep. And so, then what happened was in 1993, while I was beginning to go up to Canada, September 6th happened. These were people who were doing research on church history for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and they found that the church had been lying about church history. And the church, to thank them for their diligent work and faith promotion, fired and excommunicated them. Nothing says the one true church like firing and excommunicating people who find out that you're lying and covering things up and deceiving people. Gospel Topics Essays, Mormons. Jim Baker did YouTube channel, had a website, doing personal appearances to Mormons, saying, hey, have you read the Gospel Topics Essays of the church? No. Well, it says that the church has been lying to us. Here's their latest revision of church history. You're an anti-Mormon, anti-Christ whore. Leave us alone. Religious freedom. And then he left and became Christian, and then he left and became Jewish. Christians all abandoned him after that. And then he's gone into hiding. Then there was a fake channel using his name, image, and videos. It wasn't him. Nonetheless, I could tell because of the upload date. It was not him. It was somebody pretending to be him. That AI. And so, yeah, the church, when I'm now in the picture saying, hey, Joseph Smith is a translator, had no clue that the prophets didn't even claim the title of translator, let alone accept the power of being a translator. And yet here I am, 6 months, boom, I got the gift. Amazing. Because section 107, verse 91 and 92 says that only the authorized president of Mormons has those gifts. And the church doesn't even claim them, let alone the title. And yet, boom, 6 months, here I am, I got it. And I'm not supposed to have it because only the true president of the church is supposed to have it. And I've got it. Only the true president of the church for Mormons is allowed to have it. And I've got it. And the prophets of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints don't have it, and they don't even want it. They don't even claim it. And they rewrote the history to say that Joseph didn't even have it. It was just a title. And it didn't really mean translator. It meant revelator, which doesn't actually mean revelator. And so, you can see what the church was panicking about, all because of the new edition of their quad, which was re-revised in 1982 when Spencer W. Kimball said, stop the presses, throw it all away, redo it, with the Book of Mormon having a new subtitle called Another Testament of Jesus Christ. Because he was concerned Mormons may not be brainwashed into thinking Jesus celestial. So to help them out, because they might go into the Book of Mormon, read 1 Nephi chapter 1 verse 2 right there at the very beginning, and say, what is the learning of the Jews? You didn't footnote it for us. We need to know. It's not in the Bible dictionary. There's nothing in the topical guide. What do we do? Where do we go? If only there was an internet that had a search engine that could help us learn what the religion of the Jews is, because we're too dumb to figure it out with just the Book of Mormon. Because we're thinking Jesus, Christianity. And so, yeah, the church sabotaged themselves. And it was Brigham Young who sabotaged the church from the beginning. But it took a while. And so in 2011, because of the internet and social media, the church lost 10 million Mormons. They said, oh my God, I'm out. I can't stay in this kind of church if they're going to lie to us. And so then the church came out with the Gospel Topics essays to confess, yeah, we lied, but here's the real story now, we promise. until the Joseph Smith Papers got released by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And they've convinced you not to look at it because they don't even say that there's any need to be concerned about changes. Because they don't make the changes in conference. They stick to the same old lies. And so there must not be anything of a bombshell. Travis is just lying. He's kicking the pricks. Yep. That's their whole plan. To treat you as dumb. Good job, Mormons. You're dumb. And so, yeah, that's what this whole new direction for the church was after September 6th. We can't have Mormons studying their scriptures anymore. We can't have them studying church history. It's going to destroy us too early. We still have 30 more years left before we're going to destroy this church. Rise up from the ashes with Lucifer's doctrine for all. And so, yeah, they got even worse, became more Christian, because if Constantine destroyed the Jewish Bible by turning it into literal history, you can't have people doing actual research. You've just rewrote history. And in order to prove it true, you got to come up with something else to protect yourself. You can't use science anymore. And with that Jesus guy who is a musion, i.e. not real, translated into English, not real. Jesus, not real. Over 4 billion people believe in not real Jesus, believing that he's real as not real. Huh? And so, yeah, he came up with a spiritual feeling. That was Constantine, not the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Constantine. Christians have already been feeling the truth, feeling a witness, long before Mormonism ever got created with Brigham Young. That's why Brigham Young turned it that way. So it was already in Brigham Young's doctrine, but because of the studying of the Book of Mormon and the Jewish documents, there's this still small voice to deal with. There's the seed likened unto a word that we have to deal with. And so, yeah, the church took away Manifest the Truth from Moroni and tricked all Mormons by saying there's no need to study your scriptures anymore. Feel the truth. And that's exactly what I learned when I was up in Canada. I got a new family. I'm going to the university. I'm eventually going to finish and will need a job to take care of my family. And so the institute there in Lethbridge offered a seminary teacher training program. So I took it, and I went and taught a class. And after the class, the regional guy had a interview with me and said, I really wish we could do this the way you did it. Studying the scriptures, diving into the word like we're supposed to, like I was taught to do by this church. But the church has a new direction now, and I had no idea it was because of September 6th. We need to manipulate the kids' feelings and call it the spirit. We need to send them on a roller coaster journey of emotions, get them laughing, get them crying, making them feel guilty, and then giving them hope in not real Jesus. So that was the end of that option for a career. can't lie to people. I will not do it. If a job wants me to lie, bye-bye. So, got food in my teeth. I'm trying to figure out which one is it. I don't recognize it. It's been drained of all its flavor. And so, Sister Saint Lori Sandal, Latter-day Saint Lori Sandal. No, no, no. Jesus is angry. We're not Latter-day Saints. We're members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Oops. Nelson, people are forgetting already. This is by Rachel Sturzer Gibson. I'm narking on her. Get her. Rachel has now been excommunicated. She will no longer be working for the Church News. For the simple error that made Jesus cry. I mean, angry. And so, the first seminary year in 2020, and if you don't know, they follow the school year. And so in the fall, that's when the school semester starts. She was a mother of 4, assigned to teach a small group of 15 and 16-year-olds in Elko, Nevada. Hey, I also did a video not too long ago reminding you of my experience in Elko, Nevada. If you're unfamiliar with it, I fulfilled Revelation chapter 12 near the end there with the flooding. February 2017. A partial lunar eclipse with the Elko flood. And so she's talking from her journal. My stomach is in knots, she wrote in her journal before her first class. I have prepared hours and hours. I don't know why. They give you a manual. This is after you're supposed to teach by feelings, manipulate their feelings. You're just supposed to read from the manual, it tells you what to do, what to say. That's what Mormons do on Sunday school. In Sunday. They only read from the manual. I once, several times, but I'm remembering one specific one downtown Salt Lake when I went to the ward there, in which I, knowing how to teach, was inspired to give an introductory object lesson to lead into it. You see this in my videos, right? Sometimes they last for hours until I finally get to the main topic. And the one Sunday school president for the ward was searching through the manual. He can't find my object lesson in the manual. And so he interrupts and says, I can't find this in the manual. Where are you? Which verse? Oh, dear God. The church would go on to produce a How to Teach Teachers How to Teach manual, of which when I was in the older singles ward, the bishop felt inspired to have me do it, asked me first if I'd ever taken the course, and said no. And then his countenance fell. And then he realized it was the Spirit that told me to ask him to put him in. And so he said, "Oh, fine. I want you to teach the class." Okay. And it needs to be massively revised, but they've done away with the program. So it doesn't matter anymore. They've turned it into a psychological manipulation of feelings. But yeah, they had lessons at the end that should have been at the beginning, and the wrong order. And so, as the lesson in the end tells you, it says the lesson is just a guide. All you need to teach is the topic for the lesson. And so you can, if there are any scriptures, and ideally you're supposed to stick with scriptures within the assigned scripture for the year. If it's the Book of Mormon, you should find scriptures on that topic from the Book of Mormon. If they don't have it in there, and it's from the Book of Mormon, and it's the Book of Mormon year, use them. But the church, not wanting controversy, not really teaching Mormons how to teach, has resulted in the default of ordering Mormons who teach to read and follow the manual. No longer teaching. And so with her saying that she spent hours and hours just on the first lesson, and she didn't feel confident, dry and secure. I want the students to have a good experience and enjoy seminary. Aren't you supposed to teach them what the scriptures say? See? She's already been indoctrinated to indoctrinate the kids into feelings, nothing more than feelings. Positive feelings, good experiences. Enjoy seminary. Ta-da. And you didn't believe me, did you? You're not listening anymore, are you? I want them to learn about Jesus. No, you don't. You want them to have a good experience and enjoy seminary. Has nothing to do with Jesus. You're going to spread the church's lies, that he's non-Trinitarian, but the rest of the creed was exactly the same. Teaching Mormons to be anti-Semites and to go around and spread the hate rather than the love. And understand what he did for them, Amuzion. See, the Jewish Christ, if Mormons knew who their Jewish Christ was, they'd either want him dead, because they're denialists, or they'd fall down and weep. Give you a hint. Joseph Smith was a Jewish Christ. See what the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has done to demote Joseph? Christians complain that we talk too much about Joseph Smith, that we idolize Joseph Smith, that we treat him like God. And yet, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints demoted Joseph Smith. So who is your actual Christ, Mormons? Are you one who wants him dead? Or are you going to fall down and cry? Section 45 of the Doctrine and Covenants. Joseph Smith is talking to Mormons, says, I'm going to prophesy about the latter days, just as the Jewish authors did with their stories. And so Jesus puts his foot on Mount Olympus over there in the east. And then Mormons are going to say, hey, what are these? What are these wounds in thy hands? From Zechariah. And feet. Hey, that's not in Zechariah. What's Joseph doing? And then Mormons will say, what are these wounds in thy hands and in thy feet? These are the wounds with which I was wounded in the house of my friends. And then they weep. Is that you, Mormons? Or are you going to murder him? You going to murder Jesus? Are ya? Are you murderers? And so then she again says, I want them to read and love the scriptures, not study, because she wants to have a good experience. She doesn't want to answer questions. See, because from my generation of seminary, that's when the questions began. Because we're being told, study the scriptures, study the footnotes, study the Bible dictionary, study the topical guide. There are questions. And the church won't answer them. And so seminary teachers are forced to field off the questions. And so thus, by turning it into spiritual witness, feelings of positivity, faith promotion, questions disappear. Just trust in the Lord, students. Just trust in the Lord. Have faith. Now, if you've got questions, you're not having sufficient faith. Keep praying to get the right feeling. No, don't use science. Evil. Logical Socratic methodology? No. Deciphering of ancient languages can only be done by the president of the church. Let God prevail in your life. Let people sin for the translation of Jesus. According to materials provided by her daughters, you wrote this wrong, Rachel. But yeah, just dear God. And so teachers like Sandal are the backbone for the church educational system's religious education program for youth ages 14 to 18. No. See, the video that they're responding to here, in case you're not knowing how YouTube works. Oh, look, we got Conan O'Brien again. Oh, this time it's Granger. What the hell is Granger? And then Napalm Records, Visions of Atlantis, Monsters. That could be interesting, but... And then the Temptations. Hey, great. Ain't Too Proud to Beg. It's okay. I prefer their other song. And so today is the 16th. And there's revealing my location so you can come and murder me. There it is, 6 days ago. LDS Church Educational System implements new study by feelings. 474 views. Tell me that's just a coincidence. Spiritual Anchor by Lori Sandal. Tell me it's just a coincidence. I dare you.